Hello, 7K team, and welcome to another fabulous 7K day. Hey, I want to give you a little understanding of the simplicity and the trick to my system. I'm going to explain my system. I'm not going to go through the training of my system. I'm going to tell you what's behind the system, the mindset behind it, and why it's successful. And so with that, I'm gonna bring up and share my screen. So I'm gonna put it up here so we can understand what I'm talking about. And this is a system I developed back in the 90s. Coming out of the corporate world, I knew nothing about network marketing. I've got the wrong share screen. I knew nothing about network marketing, but I wanted to succeed in network marketing. And I had the right attitude. I wanted to learn how. So what do? I go to people who are successful in network marketing. And I bought and went to many of their training systems. And I spent thousands and thousands of dollars buying books and training under people who made the income that I wanted to make. And I went through quite a few years part-time in doing that. And then all of a sudden, when I was doing it full-time, when I resigned from the corporate world and did not replace my income, believe me, my wife almost had a heart attack. She did not want me to do that. But I was determined I was going to have a life, because I had no life in the corporate world. I never got to see my family. I was just traveling all over the world, working almost 24/7. I mean, it was just like I was working all the time. And so I really had a burning desire to own my own business and have a life. And I saw network marketing and gave me that opportunity without a ton of financial risk of losing everything. Like if I'd have bought a franchise or bought a business, trying to get that going part-time what I was doing, and you couldn't quit because we'd acquired too much in life, you know. So in doing network marketing full-time, I came to a realization that many of the people who I was trying to learn from was making a ton of money in selling their training systems and selling their books. And yeah, they made money with their company, but they were making more money in the training aspect of their business. Have you ever noticed how you see advertise a lot of people, selling you books and training systems, but they're not successful again in network marketing? They had their run and they were pretty good at it. And well, that's what you have. You have an industry full of that. And I call it buying a lie. And so what I did, since I spent so much money I was used to that. See, in the corporate world, they spent tens of thousands of dollars on me over that 18-year period. I had more than $100,000 worth of training over that 18-year period. I mean, I had very expensive week trainings and seminars and contract negotiations and labor negotiations and OSHA training and specific engineering codes and ASTM codes and all this kind of stuff. And so, yeah, the corporate world spends a lot of money on their corporate executives and their top level engineers to do it right and to learn it right. And so I was accustomed to that. And that's why I did it. But I don't encourage any of you to do that. I'm going to save you tons of money. And I looked at every training, so every person that was immensely successful in network marketing with various companies. not just one company, with a multitude of companies. And I pulled out of them the similarities, the things that were essential. And then all of a sudden one day it just dawned on me that, I've heard it many times that this business is simple. It's not easy, it's hard, but it's simple. And it truly is a truism in network marketing. And so once you find the right vehicle, the right company, and that's going to be my training on Tuesday night, by the way, and the secrets, those real secrets, and the whys and the wherefores and all the validation. Well, anyway, little hint. And anyway, what I did is I pulled together and I wrote on 3 sheets of paper, actually 4 sheets of paper, everything you need to know and to follow to be successful in network marketing. 4 sheets of paper, 8 by 11.5, right? Something like that. That's the size of the paper. I don't forget the size of paper anymore, but I think that's what it is. And then I summarized it and I put it in words. And so I'm going to tell you the heart of the system right here. 2 years to learn, 3 to 5 to build a big business. And I write in words to you that should make sense if you read it. And if you're not being successful in your business or you're starting to feel depressed about it, I want you to go back and read this. This is why I give it to you. For you, not for me. It's for you. And it's for your group. And you start reading this and you'll see the reality of it. Whatever you do in life, I don't care what it is. If you're going to be a carpenter, you're going to be an electrician, you're going to be a nurse's assistant, you're going to be a receptionist. I don't care what you're going to be. You're going to be a doctor. You're going to be an engineer. Whatever you do in life, you got to learn how first. And that takes time and effort and typically a lot of expense. And it's the same with network marketing. It's the same with network marketing and a company that you're doing. And I call it Millionaires 101 class. And if you just join and think you're going to get rich, then you got the wrong attitude right off the bat. If you're going to join and work to get rich, you got the right attitude. If you're going to join and learn how and work to get rich, you got an even better attitude. So I put in a couple of paragraphs, all the truisms of network marketing, and I made it company specific. And by the way, you can use this, and I encourage it. I've told people to use it since the beginning, but I've copyrighted this and I don't sell it because I don't believe in fleecing the flock. My information's free, but it's mine. It's not yours. And that's my name down there. So if you use it, you give me credit for it because it's not your system. You didn't develop it, but you're teaching it from a master in the industry. So if you want to be successful, what do? You follow masters. You follow people who have proven that they're successful. And I used this system and taught this system back in 96 when I joined that first gold and silver company. About 18 months after Richard, and he was at the top of the computer, but yet I built an organization of 70,000 people using this system, teaching this system. Now, this is the heart of the system right here, because this is what you got to go back to and reread and reread. yourself. So if I ever tell you, you know, you need to go back and read 2 years to learn, 3 to 5 to build big, you know what, you know the message that I'm telling you. We don't have to, you know, uh, be like a tough boss in the old job world. We just need to give a little incentive push to our team, because we're a team. We don't have any boss subordinate relationships here. We're a team. And that's what you want. Build a family, a team, an interdependent team. And part of that is making a commitment. And it's a true commitment, because see, if I sponsor you, I want a 2-year commitment out of your life that you're willing to learn how, that you're willing to be coachable and teachable, and that you're going to stick here and you're going to do the basics. Because where in the world could you start a business for under $1,000 and keep your lights on, your overhead for your business, keep your lights, instead of paying rent, lights, water, or whatever? You're buying a coin of proven value every month for $105. Well, it's $95, but you add the tax and get $105 on average. To keep your business open, makes you active, it accumulates points, and all you have to do is have faith and belief, because if other people are doing it, you can learn how. That's the key. If other people are doing it, you can learn how. It may take you longer to learn how. You may have immense quick success in the first 2 or 3, 4 weeks, but then it might slow down. But you got to stick with it. It don't just go away. It's still there. Only quitters never win. And so some principles in life you'll learn on the way, but I tell you, that next sheet of paper everybody wants is a job description. Well, I tell you what you got to do. This number one is the biggest thing that you got to do. And everybody always hears me. I want a commitment out of you like the hog makes to our breakfast, not like that little stupid chicken does. That chicken just contributes to our breakfast, right? I want a commitment like the hog. Yeah, they really make a commitment to our breakfast, don't they? Well, that means 2 years out of your life. No complaining, no moaning, no bad attitude, because you're your own worst enemy then. Because you're learning, but you get to earn while you learn. That's the beauty of this. Even if it took you 2 years to make your first check, you're going to make a check, because you get credit in this business for your points of your coin, and it goes over there, and you will make a check. But more importantly, your team is building a business through one side, and that's putting a lot of dollars in your bank account. And your only job is to really learn how to take it out. Okay? But this is the key. This right here is the one that hardly anybody does and does right, because they have in their mind the way they want to do it instead of doing it the way I teach them. And I try to make it real easy, because I try to do it at a 2-year commitment level, at a part-time in that 2 years. So I'm only asking you to go to Millionaires 101 for 2 years, for 10 hours out of your life, to be able to start having an extra residual check of $500 a month or a week or more for the rest of your life after that period of time, maybe 7 years. Man, if you're not willing to make that kind of sacrifice, you don't deserve success. And that's reality. So that's why I started chemical engineering class. We had a big class that a lot of people thought they wanted to be chemical engineers. Heck, we only had a handful of us graduated. Everybody else dropouts. That's the way life is. People quit. They drop out. They don't believe in themselves. Is it hard to stay in school? Yep. Was I extremely smart? No. Just like I told my son, my youngest son, and I brought up my sons. I said, you know, you'll see it at the bottom of my email. I coined it back in the 90s. I will do today what others won't, so I can have tomorrow what others can't. I got little trophies that were given to me by people in my business that did plaques and awards for that, and they wrote it down and put it on there for me. That's everybody learned that in our thing. And I Google it on Google, and I see all these other athletes and people who attribute themselves way past my date of coining that the date, it's theirs. It's their quote. Like hockey, it's their quote. I'm the one that coined that, and that's how I raised my children, because it's how I raised myself. And I coined it from what I learned from Jim Rohn, because he was my assumed mentor in life. And he was the man that I read everything he put out. I went to every seminar, had every tape. That was a real God-fearing man that truly shared success principles of life, and he'll be the first to tell you, and it's like me, they're all come from the Bible. And so that's where you really can grow and get leadership principles and all the precepts that you need to be successful from that one book. But expose the business to 5 people a day, 5 days a week. But see, if you spend more than an hour doing that, heck, if you spend more than 30 minutes doing that, you are doing it wrong, because all you're doing is using the peak interest skills. You're peaking interest. You're sifting. And so, you know, the most of your time here is spent watching your videos, learning about your business, learning everything in your website, attending your conference calls, plugging in, because this is where you're going to acquire those skills, attitudes, and technique. You're going to learn stories. And then I only try to make it easy for you, but everybody knows 500 people. I mean, everybody does. Actually, you know, many more than that. But I take you through baby steps, just like Zach does a great job. See, I love the fact with 7K, the associate training by Zach is a great trainer. I don't have to train that anymore. I used to have to do all that training that Zach does and puts in. You talk about duplication that we have now. We have the most duplicable system in the world. And so now I just augment our group with my training, because I know mine works. I know mine builds big teams. I know mine builds committed teams. And I know mine builds a one another team. And I ask you just to duplicate it. And then, you know, that's the third sheet of piece of paper. You got to have a plan for a business. Okay. And so you don't want infighting. You don't want arguing. You try to keep harmony in your business. And this is what this is all about. Harmony. Okay. You don't put one brother here and a sister here in the same household. They know the same people. They grew up with the same people. Now they're fighting over who talked to who first. You keep them in a one another business right down the line. Now, our comp plan in 7K kind of forces you to do that, but you have the authority to place left or right. Okay. Same thing in your church. Now, I go to a 5,000 member church. I don't mean put everybody in that church down this leg, but you have Sunday school classes. And our Sunday school class is almost 70 people. So everybody in our Sunday school class is going to when they come in, then when maybe one comes in here, the other one comes in down here, they're going to be down here. They're in the same leg. They're all pulling for everybody else in the Sunday school class to become part of our common business, because we have a common business together. And it's whoever gets them is great, but you don't place them You don't have that Sunday school class going here. You don't get them. You're in the Sunday school class and place them down here. Now you got Sunday school class competing with Sunday school class because they're not in a common leg. Same thing at an office building where you work, small office. You keep that office together. You keep that maybe that franchise on the south side of town together, and the other franchise on the north side of town. You put them over here. See, so you got to use some good old God-given common sense in this, and then once you understand, so I'm trying to teach you why this system works. I'm teaching you the behind the scenes of it. And then the only other thing you need to have is faith and belief. And so you got to believe in network marketing. I truly believe in it. I look at that industry. I mean, you'd have to be a dead gum dummy not to know that network marketing creates more millionaires than any other single industry and gives you the greatest opportunity to start a business. You really have to be a dummy not to believe that. Maybe you've done the wrong ones, but that wasn't network marketing's fault. There's bad apples in everything, you know? So, you know, I believe in this industry because I did my homework before I ever joined it. Now, have I done thousands or hundreds of companies or even 10 or 11? No. I'm very picky and choosy about the companies I do. Believe in the profession. I believe in it. You got to believe in it too. If you don't believe in it, that's something you got to work on. You got to believe in the business building system itself. So we got our associate training, our way of doing it in 7K, and I've got mine that augments it. And so if you don't believe in my system, then you go create your own. But don't tell me mine don't work. You go create your own. That's fine. And I hope you're more successful than I ever was. I really, truly do, especially if you're in my group. I hope you are successful. But don't taint other people until you prove that yours is right. Okay? And it works. And you got to believe in the fact that you can do this. So it's that person you look in the mirror at. You got to convince yourself you can do it. And that's why I always have since incorporated, Attitude by Chuck Swindoll as part of the tool set too. And so I bring in the fifth piece of paper. Okay. But, I'm going to go back to the team and the chart, and understand that just say this is a person that you sponsored on your left. And let's say they make that 2-year commitment and you built a business through them. Now, can you imagine the amount of points that they have? And points are dollars. I've got people in my business that join me. It's got hundreds of thousands of points on their counter right there. And you know what? When it comes time to renewal, I go back to them and I say, it's time for renewal. Well, I hadn't made any money. I hadn't done anything. Oh, I hadn't even done my 10 hours. I said, but you've been buying your coin like you committed to. Just keep doing it. Let's put a little bit more time in it. But we need to renew. And then I show them all this money they got in the bank. Do you know how many people I've motivated to get back into the business just by doing that? Just by re-engaging, just by doing that? Do you know how many people that once they made their first check, they got a taste of, man, hey, that was pretty cool. That was pretty easy. And then they understand the 1099 tax benefits already. And so that's why I incorporate, the different tools that we have in 7K with my system, like the membership benefits. And in people, using these tools at the right time, at the right place. And these are the parts of the training that I'm going to be giving over this next few years as we grow and build. And so one of the things I really wanted to do, the main thing I really wanted to do today, is tell you what's behind the system. See, it's the psychology. All business, it doesn't matter what it is, network marketing, traditional business, big corporate world, there's a certain psychology in the business. It's being able to relate to a person and their wants, their desires, and being able to find out what that is, and then having a system that helps provide the solutions or the way or the mechanism for them to achieve their wants and desires, their goals. And most people come in here and because we have a goal of teaching people how first to secure their financial wealth and to actually accumulate it. So it's kind of like the financial insurance. Gold and silver provides that. We provide them a way to buy gold and silver at cost, and in an affordable way, and that they can now participate in a market that they always thought was out of their reach and never even considered. But this should be a base of their plan. And then when they can get 1099 tax benefits, and they can get travel benefits, and they can get other benefits, and then they can start making an extra, a plan B, a side income. That's even better. When that can augment and become their retirement income in the future, they're laying down the groundwork for a business that they're building that they can retire into. And then when it starts actually producing checks, and you learn how to use all these stories, the Don Nelson stories, the Bruce Harris story, the Ken and Sue Cox story, the Dennis DeSella story, the Chris Latin family story, the Wayne Clark story, the Danny and Tiffany Clement story, the George Donaldson story, the Woodrow Wilson story, the Constance Meyer story, the Holly Zaflin story, story after story after story. You learn the people's stories as they come, you use them, and you're able to relate to a person and an objection with their story. So it takes time to learn these things. And in time, you're going to be immensely successful. And so the real key is getting people to learn to believe in themselves. That's the most important thing, because most people have given up on themselves. They've made a resolve to try and be as happy as they can with what they got. They're really not happy with their job. They're really not happy. Hey, I love what I'm doing. It is not work. I love what I'm doing. I love helping people. I love seeing people grow. I love people. I just am immensely gratified. You don't know the gratification I get out of seeing Wayne Clark, who's younger, who grow and develop, and to see him become, let's say, the first executive goal before me. Do you think I have a jealous bone in my body about that? Absolutely not. I just would love to see him be the first presidential goal. I'd love to see George be the first president. Anybody in my group. I don't have to be there. That doesn't bother me at all. I've had the status before. None of that bothers me at all. What helps me is to know that, a Constance Meyer got to achieve her goal, lifeline goal. A Holly who's been sticking here and there for forever, her and her son, and then finally it materializes for them. Cindy and Delton Kaysen, strapped with medical bills and different things in life, and finally have the blessings of financial abundance finally come to them in their lives. That's what gives me satisfaction. I just want to help people achieve that. I want to help people achieve what I have achieved previously, and help mentor them do that. And we've got the greatest vehicle in the world. We're only 3.5 years old. We've only begun to grow, and this company is going to change so much in so many people's lives over the next couple of decades that, to me, it's unfathomable. And so, learn how to succeed with 7K. Do everything you can within the power that you have to succeed with the tools and the systems that you have available. There's never going to be another greater opportunity for you that's going to come around in your lifetime. We've been fortunate. We've been blessed, Pamela. Now, we've been talking about it quite a bit. I mean, you know, we're in our 70s. I'm 73. And we've been afforded 2 opportunities like this in our lifetime. 2. Most people don't even get 1. We have been so blessed. And we're so thankful for 7K and its co-founders and their mission and what they want to do. And we want to teach a lot of people. Now, I'm not going to give you the fish. I'm not going to give you the fish. I'll teach you how to fish. And then that way you can teach others how to fish. And then that way that financial independence can be duplicated, one person to another person, changing families' lives one person at a time. That's really our mission, changing families' lives one person at a time, one family at a time. Have a great 7K day, and never, ever give up on you and your success with 7K.